Welcome to TechieCast Jacks. Joe Holbrook here, the Cloud Tech Guy. Really excited that you're here today because we need to talk about a subject that just seems to be coming up and up and up over and over and over. The point is really focused on chatbots, ChatGPT, Bard AI, and the list seems to be endless. There's all kinds of AI-backed services out there. So whether you're a developer, a content creator, or a business owner, you have the ability to use a lot of these free services and also paid services as well to really up the game in whatever you're doing. Now, when it comes to using ChatGPT or Bard, it's important to realize that both of these services are relatively new. So they're a work in progress. From my experience using both of these, there's some really great capabilities between the two, and there's some great differences between the two as well. So for example, if I wanted to get the freshest content and be able to reference the internet directly and get that information from the internet, then Google Bard is really the choice for that, because of the fact that ChatGPT is going to be using what is really data sets from 2021. So that's one of the big challenges with ChatGPT. Now also too, Google's Lambda learning model, the algorithms and everything that they use, is actually somewhat faster than what ChatGPT uses from an overall perspective. When I test, for example, create a blog post on how to save money, then a post like that on ChatGPT might take a few seconds more, and the one on Bard will be a little bit quicker. Now, ChatGPT, though, is better in a lot of respects because it seems to be more concise. And if I was going to trust something from ChatGPT versus Bard, I'd probably go with ChatGPT, especially if there's a lot of information out there. It seems like they do a better job in that area, at least from my experience. So why should you learn about chatbots? Well, the reality is a lot of job descriptions out there are asking you to be enabled in some form of AI. So because of AI being automated intelligence, we need to realize too that if we're able to make our jobs easier, that can also make the company's job easier indirectly in some form as well. So for example, if you need to put together a Python script and you're a Python developer, you could go to ChatGPT and literally have it create that script for you. And it may not be perfect, but if it gets 80% of what you need, and then you tweak some of the remaining areas, then you're good to go. So if there's a few variables you need to update, if you need to update, for example, pathing or plugins or whatever the issue is, the version that you might be using, that's great. So it's easy enough to do. And there's been a lot of great, what I call feedback from developers using ChatGPT. Now, I wouldn't recommend Bard just because of the fact that it is somewhat newer, and it seems like it does not put together a script as well as, for example, ChatGPT would. However, on the other hand, Bard can be really good when it comes to current events or trying to find a reference, for example, to a specific statistic you might be looking for. Like if you want to know what the market cap is for cloud computing, Bard is probably going to get you the better number because of how the data sets are actually construed, or I should say actually constructed and deployed in the back end of ChatGPT. So when it comes to learning how to use a chatbot, it is important to realize that they can save you money, and they can also improve customer satisfaction as well. And then one of the things too is, and this is true for me as well, And this article, depending on where you're listening and viewing this, I'll be linking this article on the GCP Gurus as well that you could reference. So also, too, it can be entertaining, but also, too, when it comes to what I would call inquiring and trying to figure things out, the chatbot is really good to get you, at least from a template perspective, started. So if you need, let's just say an example. If you're a student and you're taking a college class, you need to have an essay on, I don't know, Shakespeare. Not that that would be something I'd even know. You go over to ChatGPT and say, write an essay about Shakespeare and then highlight specific areas. And it will do that. So if you want to learn about Henry David Thoreau and, talk about what was the main topics and on, Walden Pond, I think was one of his books. So the point here is you could use this even as a student to help do some of your homework if you need to. Now, math questions. Okay, this is an area where I think both platforms are really improving upon. It's going to be able to, and a lot of this is, again, based on the learning model that's deployed, the algorithms. So if you want to solve math problems, both platforms can do a relatively good job. Now, it's not going to solve anything that is going to have specific wildcard characters, so it's not going to have like super, what I would call, strong skills in like calculus or anything, but it'll solve basic math problems around 10 times 10, 2021 times 17, and it could be more complex as well. And also, too, you could go to, and I've done a few of these demos in some of the courses I put together where you go to like a website. I went to like a chemistry website and asked ChatGPT to put together a solution to the problem. So the example there that I go through literally solved the problem in less than, I would say, 8 seconds, maybe not even 10 seconds. And that would take me probably hours and hours. So just be aware that that is really cool, I think. Okay, now what about salary? Okay, so I've seen a ton of numbers out there. I just saw a number from Business Insider that if you know ChatGPT and you know how the back end is actually implemented and you're really good at prompt engineering, then you could be making $300,000, possibly $400,000 a year. Now, honestly, those are numbers that I see like in a lot of these articles pumping up AI and stuff. However, the reality is a lot of these salaries are more like 120, 150 from what I have seen. But again, that could be just based on the niche area and who you get in contact with. But the salaries can be very high, no question about it. Now, for those not familiar, you can also learn about ChatGPT on a number of different sites. There's tons of courses. You go over to techcommandos.com. We have numerous courses on chatbots and ChatGPT and Bard. Also, too, there's what is called the ChatGPT Playground. This is a website that you go to, and it walks you through how it works, which is sort of cool. Then for Bard, there is the Bard Help Center. This is a Google-sponsored site, and they do have tutorials, demonstrations, and stuff. So whether you are a content creator, a business owner, a student, an entrepreneur, or you're just trying to learn something new or create something new, there's a really good chance that Bard or ChatGPT can really elevate your game. So with that said, let's go ahead and close this out, and definitely check out our website, techcommandos.com, for those courses if that's of interest. Once again, thank you for joining. Have a great day.